But I really don't think she would be in the position she's in without Marcus Anderson.
Fairy tales don't come with receipts, darling.
That Meghan Markle wouldn't have the level of global fame.
And love stories? Oh, they never come with guest lists that read like corporate directories.
That she enjoys now, or infamy, depends how you look at it.
Because princes, well, they're not supposed to lie awake wondering if their fairy tale weddings were really business meetings in disguise. But here we are. Picture this. Prince Harry, red-haired, royal, sitting in Montecito with his phone in hand, staring at a picture that just won't leave his mind. Not because of Meghan's perfect smile or the dreamy Mediterranean backdrop, but because of one tiny detail. There, in the background of that glossy yacht photo, was something that made his stomach twist. A navy blue canvas bag, stamped with gold letters, Soho House. According to those close to him, Harry zoomed in again and again until his hands literally trembled. He couldn't shake it. That bag wasn't just a brand, it was a world. One that Meghan had belonged to long before he ever entered the picture.
And I doubted that she would have the cachet to be at the opening night party.
What?
And it wasn't just any yacht. Oh no. It was the kind of yacht. The kind that sails through the elite social circles where Meghan Markle had apparently been thriving for years. And guess who was at the center of that world? Marcus Anderson, Meghan's so-called close friend, Soho House insider, and yes, a guest at the royal wedding. This wasn't just a vacation photo, it was a glimpse into an entirely different network, one Harry didn't even know he was stepping into.
And they reported on the opening night of the Toronto Soho House.
Fans online started whispering, then shouting, that Harry's great love story might not have been so accidental after all. That maybe, just maybe, what he thought was a fairy tale had been orchestrated. Imagine his shock. Harry had always believed his love story began with a sweet blind date arranged by a mutual friend, but then he started digging. He began cross-referencing, yes, cross-referencing, old photos, charity event lists, and even donor names. And what he found shattered the story he'd always been told. Commentators compared it to peeling off the palace wallpaper, only to discover a stage set beneath it. Because the photos didn't lie. There was Meghan, years before she ever met Harry, photographed at Soho House, Istanbul, 2015, surrounded by the same European businessmen Harry would later recognize at his own charity events. And there she was again, laughing on a rooftop in Barcelona back in 2014, next to two men Harry had once competed against on the polo field. It was like his past and hers were overlapping before they even met. Then came the names. Reports claim Harry stumbled upon charity donor lists featuring people who had also appeared in Meghan's circles years earlier. The coincidences piled up until they didn't feel like coincidences anymore. He'd believed he was bringing Meghan into his world, but what if she had already been orbiting it all along? It wasn't just shocking, it was humiliating. And at the center of every single connection was Marcus Anderson. According to an old archived article, Marcus wasn't just a friend, he was the man who made sure the right people met. The question that haunted Harry was brutal. Had his entire marriage been engineered? Was he part of a long strategic plan? Or was it all just coincidence dressed up as fate? But Harry didn't stop there. Oh no, once he started looking, he couldn't stop. The deeper he dug, the worse it got. The yacht photo was just the start. Soon his nights turned into endless hours of scrolling through old photos, archives, and gossip blogs, zooming in, matching faces, connecting dots. And he wasn't the only one doing it. The internet. Oh, the internet loves a mystery. Fans on Reddit started piecing everything together, creating timelines and overlaying Meghan's Soho House appearances with Harry's polo schedules and charity events. The results? Chilling. She wasn't stumbling into his world, one post read. She was rehearsing for it. And that post? It went viral. Another fan tweeted an old photo of Meghan at a polo after party with the caption, Season 1, get into the club. Season 2, meet the prince inside Montecito. And just like that, the internet crowned Meghan not as a princess, but as a strategist. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered that Harry had become restless, pacing his office, walls covered in photos, guest lists highlighted, names circled in red ink. Staff claimed he started asking questions. A lot of questions. Who did Meghan meet in Los Angeles before him? Did any of them have ties to Marcus Anderson? He was connecting dots, seeing ghosts in every shadow. And then came the voicemail, the one from William. Years ago, Palace security had allegedly flagged Marcus Anderson, calling him a social strategist, someone who carefully placed ambitious women inside elite networks. William had warned Harry. He'd begged him to be careful. Harry had laughed it off. And now, that warning echoed in his head like a ticking clock. The tabloids were merciless. They drew comparisons to old Hollywood scandals, actresses who married their managers, publicists who crafted love stories. They even ran split timelines showing Meghan at Soho House in 2014 and attending royal-adjacent events less than a year later. The question plastered across every headline: was Harry chosen, not chased? And the tension didn't stop there. The story was no longer about coincidences. It was something darker, colder, and deliberate. The moment everything shifted was when Harry asked the simplest question imaginable. How did Meghan afford all of this? He knew exactly what her salary had been during her Suits years. The math didn't add up, not even close. The flights across Europe, the designer wardrobes, the five-star stays, the Soho House memberships. Plural, not one, but several. And each membership cost a fortune. Harry started digging, and according to a contact tied to Soho House Toronto, the truth that came back was chilling. Meghan had never paid a dime. Her memberships had been quietly comped, covered through mysterious corporate accounts. That's when the same name resurfaced like a ghost: Marcus Anderson. Only this time, he wasn't just a friend. He was the man making sure that doors stayed open, flights were covered, and access was never denied. Commentators speculated it wasn't friendship, it was investment. Meghan had been funded, guided, and strategically positioned for something far bigger, and the internet went wild. A viral TikTok broke down the numbers piece by piece. The annual Soho House membership in 2015, £1,500. Then add the hotels, the yachts, the luxury wardrobes, altogether over $80,000 a year. That's more than Meghan ever earned from Suits. One brutal caption summed it up perfectly: "You don't climb a ladder that fast unless someone's holding it steady." But for Harry, this wasn't about money anymore. It was about trust. And that's when his heartbreak took its darkest turn. Late one night, restless and unable to sleep, Harry pulled out something he'd never questioned before: his own wedding guest list. He'd looked at it 1,000 times before, but this time, he saw it differently. He looked at her side, and what he saw made him feel physically sick. Out of 200 names, more than 60 had direct ties to Soho House, executives, members. The same socialites and influencers Meghan had been photographed with years before she even met him. The royal wedding, the moment the world saw as a grand love story, now looked like something else entirely. A reunion, a summit of the same network that had propelled Meghan from actress to Duchess. And the images from that reception? They suddenly looked different. Marcus Anderson raising a glass, laughter echoing among familiar faces. Those same smiles that once looked friendly now felt staged, like everyone knew they'd reached the final scene of a very long plan. Online, fans flooded Twitter with side-by-side photos. One tweet went viral overnight. Her wedding wasn't the end of a love story. It was her graduation ceremony. Then came the moment that shattered Harry completely. The rediscovered voicemail from William. Years before, palace security had warned him. They'd flagged Marcus Anderson as a handler, a social architect who placed ambitious women in powerful networks. They had tracked Meghan's appearances at events connected to Harry's world long before that so-called blind date. William had begged him to listen, but Harry didn't. He'd been in love. Now, hearing that voicemail again, and the voice of his brother, quiet but firm, it all clicked. Meghan hadn't just been ready for his world, she had been rehearsed for it. And the people who orchestrated it weren't gone. They were still there, waiting behind the curtain, watching the next act unfold. The breaking point came quietly, in the kitchen, of all places. After days of silence, Harry finally asked the question that had been tearing him apart. "Are you still in contact with Marcus Anderson?" Sources said Meghan's reaction was immediate and chilling. The warmth drained from her face, her arms crossed, her voice cold, sharp. "He's my friend," she said flatly. "Of course, I talk to him sometimes." But it wasn't what she said, it was how she said it. That calm, icy control, that refusal to even pretend. Harry felt something inside him collapse. And the internet, the internet exploded. Fans dubbed it the Montecito standoff. Memes spread like wildfire. Harry as a detective in his own house, piecing together a mystery too late to change it. One tweet read, "When she won't deny it, that's your answer." According to insiders, Harry's voice cracked as he confronted her, laying out every piece of the puzzle. The Istanbul photos, the Barcelona parties, the guest list, William's warnings. "I know Marcus positioned you. This wasn't random," he said. "And Meghan?" She didn't flinch, didn't cry, didn't even argue. She just stared. Silent, calm, untouchable. That silence was louder than any denial. Commentators later said that was the moment Harry realized the fairy tale was gone, that he wasn't her prince. He was the project. Hollywood insiders began whispering too. Publicists warned their clients to avoid being photographed with Meghan at events. Studios were suddenly nervous. Trade outlets reported that executives were quietly monitoring sentiment, worried that the handler narrative was spinning out of control. Royal watchers drew parallels to older scandals, moments in history when silence said everything. But this wasn't just another royal drama. This was personal. The betrayal wasn't just between husband and wife, it was between worlds. And Harry's trust, the one thing he'd always given freely, was now fractured beyond repair.